Welcome to our YouTube channel. This is our first video on technical talk, exploring the capabilities of GNSS receivers and other surveying equipment. Before we begin, kindly subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell for more updates. Karibu. Today I would like to show you how to connect a GNSS receiver as an NTRIP caster or an NTRIP server. So in this case, we're going to talk about or look at SP80 GNSS receiver as an NTRIP server, which will transmit correction to an NTRIP caster. Thereby, it can be accessed by an NTRIP user. So on my screen, first of all, I'd like to clarify that I'm using an emulator connected to a GPS receiver, that is a SP80 via Bluetooth to begin with. So let's start our software, in this case Survey Pro. So on the screen, you can click on Survey Pro. So as it opens, one thing that you should ensure that is working is you have internet connectivity on your phone, or you have a Wi-Fi around you, or you have a SIM card inserted on the receiver itself, or you use your phone to provide the Wi-Fi in that case. So once the software has opened, so it's taking quite a number of time. Okay, so once the software is open, so the first thing you need to create a new job. So you go to new, and then the new job window opens. You give it a name. In this case, we're going to call this training 1. Then click on the settings tab. So in this window, you key in the necessary settings you require. If everything is okay, click next. On to next. Over here, what you're required to do, there are few options. There's the no control or reference file. Let's say you did a job somewhere, and then maybe this is the second day and you're creating another job. So because you worked on the same site yesterday, if you're not proceeding with that job, maybe the first person did the job, is not the second person who was coming to finish it up. So if he wants to create his own job, he can make reference to the old file that was worked on. That's where you're saying where you have an option of no control file or a reference file. So if he wants to make reference to that file, then he uses the option to choose a control file. An external reference file is where you are connected to the cloud, and then you are referring something which is stored on a different location. In this case, we are saying no control file, then we click next. Over here, we want to, let me just go back. Over here, you're going to set the coordinate system. So first of all, you can use the predefined coordinate system. Select the region, select the zone which you're working on, and then select the data to which you want to work on. You can set user GEOID if you're interested in height. The next thing is option to enter the first point. So this is an assumption that you have the coordinates already. If you already have these coordinates above and you've imported them into the software, you don't need to enter the coordinates of the first point. This is an option. You can decide either to enter the coordinates of the first point where you use it as a base, or you skip, just say finish without checking the icon. So the job is created already. As you can see, top there is written training 1, which we specified. As I said earlier, you have to ensure that your receiver is connected to the internet. So there are two ways of internet connectivity over here. First, the controller itself is connected to the device via Bluetooth. Because you're going to use the base as an NTRIP server, it has to be connected to the internet. SP80 in this case has a capability of having a SIM card in it, right? So it will be providing its own internet. It can also use a Wi-Fi. It can also connect to a Wi-Fi. Third way is the controller you're using can also provide Wi-Fi or internet to it. So in this case, I'm connected to Wi-Fi. So before you do anything, make sure you're connected to the Wi-Fi. This is the controller. So as you can see, it is connected to the Wi-Fi, or rather, I'm connecting to Wi-Fi. And the Wi-Fi name I'm using in this case is called the company Wi-Fi. It's called EcoSpace. So after checking that, I can now close that window, confirming that I have internet. The next thing, now I need to connect. Sorry about that. I need to connect to the receiver. So I'll click on the settings icon as it opens. You can see I have a few number of receivers here, SP80 and SP60. SP80 is going to be the base, so I'll select it and then click the setting icon next to it. The blue line just means it is highlighted. So I'm connecting to SP80 via Bluetooth. In your case, you should hear a beep. Trying to connect. Oh, no device detected. Since it is outside, for this practical to work, it's taking time. I've tried it again and there it is connected. So under this setting, from the drop down arrow under setup type, this is where we are going to choose the base as a network base. You can decide to choose it just as a normal base. Then we have the elevation mask. You can decide to put it at any value. What kind of corrections do you want to transmit? In this case, we're going to use RTCM 3.0. Then you click the arrow button. Then over here, an explanation is we're going, remember, the controller is connected to Wi-Fi, and SP80 also need internet to transmit these corrections. To do that, if we have a Wi-Fi, the same Wi-Fi we're using, we can connect SP80 to it. Alternatively, we're going to connect SP80 to use an internal SIM card to transmit correction. So this is where we do that. Select the internal GPRS modem, which is our SIM card we are using, in this case Safaricom. So we're going to enter the details of that, the SIM, the pin, the automatic start on or the manual, then you put it on. So you're seeing the modem has been powered on, just say OK, and then accept the changes by clicking the green button at the top. Then the next thing, now we connect to SP60, highlighting it first, and then you click on the setting icon. Okay, trying to connect. Taking some time. It is a little bit far from me. Not detected. I want to continue by trying again. So I want to repeat that. I brought it closer. It has been brought closer to me. Alright, perfect. It is accepted. So it is our network rover. Remember, it can be used as a rover. So then we go to the next. So in this case, the rover is going to use the internet from the controller, because the controller and the rover, we are going to be walking around with it to pick data. Okay. So I'm choosing an option to use the current internet, which is the internet that is provided from the controller. I accept the changes. Then after that, now we need to set the networks. By networks, we mean the base has been connected as a network rover. Where is it supposed to send the corrections to? Alright, then the rover, where will it get these connections from? So I've created two networks. One is called the base point, another one is called the rover. Alright, so down there you can see the address of the base point, but let me just open it and then show you what you need to key in. So for the base point, the setup is a network base. Alright, the server type, so this is where now we're keying in the properties on what the base is supposed to do. it is going to be forwarding correction by a method called NTRIP forwarding. Then we give it an address as shown above. This is a public IP address, and then give it a port, a username, password, and the kind of correction it's going to show. Then how are we going to see it on that? By using a mount point called eSpace. Accept all those corrections, and then you repeat the same for the rover. Remember, that was NTRIP forwarding. A rover is not going to forward. The other one was a network rover, but this now a network based, this now a network rover. So in my settings, I don't use a password, and I don't need a password to access the corrections. So when that is done, so I need to start base, or rather to start survey, and then connect to my base. So I'm connecting to SP80. Automatically it identifies the network. Then I connect to that network, in this case the base point. Click connect, taking time to load. The base is trying to establish position. So we are measuring from the slant mark point. The height is approximate, in this case is 2 meters. We are not going to do any post-processing interval recording. Then we go to next. So we are going to use the position that has measured itself. We don't have the coordinates for that point in this case. If you had them, you just key them in as shown. Maybe if it's a control point, specify the layer. It will help you when you're drawing. If you want to take a picture, do that. Then key in the coordinates using feature definitions, or when you go for easy drawing, fill to finish in AutoCAD. But you're going to use then the point that it picked. Then we finish the base setup. Taking time because first it has to connect. Good. Now it is transmitting. You can see the base seeing at least 22 satellites using 18. The PDOF values are still changing. RTCM, that's the correction that's transmitting. It is not recording any data for post-processing. I'm in a room, so it is seeing a part of a satellite distribution in the sky. So this part is where the office. So you can see this is the distribution of the satellites, and that's their approximate position. I can now close that. Then go to start survey again. Now I need to connect to my rover, which is SP60net. Then choose which network do I want to connect to, which is rover in this case. Then I say connect. It is connected, looking at the NTRIP services that are available. So remember when you were creating a mount point called eSpace, so it will list all the available. Then I select eSpace. So with that, eSpace highlighted. So to just do selecting it, then I click connect. Everything is okay, and we are ready to go. Float solution. Reason is we are in the office. The receivers are placed next to the window, so it will take time Edge of correction, as you can see above, keep on changing from about 1 to 8 seconds. Accuracy is still low. For now, we'll accept that. Click next. If you want to do calibration, you choose the occupy control and do calibration. In this case, that's turning for another day, and then I just say start now to start survey. Just say okay, the local coordinates. And then now we can start roving. See, I've gotten a fixed. It's green, which means the accuracy that has been set has been achieved. It is fixed in this case, but it is now red. If you can see, the horizontal accuracy is more than 2 centimeters. When it is below 2 centimeters, it is green. When it is above 2 centimeters, it's turned red, though it is fixed. If I'm okay with that, I accept. Give a description of the point. Point 1, click on the green button, accept. Move to the next point, continue. When everything is okay. And with that, I hope you enjoyed the training. There's some points you need to take home, just in case you want to do it yourself or follow up the training. Some points that I will say as a take home or an advantage of using this method is: 1, it enables you to use your receiver's capability to the fullest. It said that we spend a lot to buy softwares, but we only use 10% of the softwares. So in this case, we're going to use an SP80 without the internal radio or without the external radio, which have disadvantages. The distance to which you can move with them, there's an issue of the power consumption. The second thing you have to ask yourself before you do the configuration is, do you have a public IP address? Do you have the rights to send data to that public IP address? Do you have internet connectivity to where you're going to work? How remote is the area? The next thing is to consider is how the rover is going to get this information. When you're creating a public IP address and sending data to it, are you going to set a password for someone to access that data, or it is going to be free? Another thing is the correction format. If you send your data to the caster from the server format of RTCM or CMR+, but then the rover is set to a different format, communication is going to be a problem. So you have to take note of that and make sure everything compares from right to left. So if you have any questions, kindly contact us for more information or configuration of your receivers, or even setting up an NTRIP caster where you can be doing this yourself, configuring your receivers to do the same. Thank you. Please subscribe and follow us for more information on how to handle and some technical support issues. Thank you and have a good day.